One phone call changed everything. My sister's life-shattering news. This story begins with an ordinary day. One of those days where everything seems routine, predictable, and calm. But life has a way of catching you off guard when you least expect it. My name is Sarah Quinn. I'm 31, living in Chicago, juggling a career in marketing and the chaotic joys of raising two kids under 6. My life was a mix of deadlines, PTA meetings, and the occasional stolen moment of peace with a cup of coffee. My sister, Lily, was my polar opposite. She was 28, the adventurer of the family. While I settled into a stable life, Lily chased dreams across continents, living out of a backpack and working as a freelance journalist. She was fearless, untamed, and always calling me with stories about her next big adventure. I admired her, envied her even, but our worlds rarely intersected. That all changed one chilly Friday evening in February. I was in the kitchen, tossing together spaghetti for dinner when my phone buzzed on the counter. It was Lily. I smiled, expecting her usual cheerful voice, probably sharing some wild story from a rainforest or a bustling city halfway around the world. But when I picked up, what I heard wasn't the Lily I knew. Her voice was trembling, barely above a whisper. "Sarah," she said, "I need to talk to you. It's serious." Those words sent a chill through me. Lily was the kind of person who shrugged off problems, the one who told me not to worry so much. For her to sound this shaken, I knew it wasn't just serious, it was life-altering. "What's wrong?" I asked, gripping the edge of the counter as my heart began to race. She paused, and then through tears she said, "I'm pregnant." The words hung in the air, heavy and unexpected. My mind reeled. Lily? Pregnant? Of all the things I imagined she might say, this was nowhere on the list. And it wasn't just the news itself, it was the way she said it, filled with fear and uncertainty. "Are you okay?" I asked, my voice softer now. "No," she admitted, and then the floodgates opened. She told me everything. She had been in a short-lived relationship while covering a story in Costa Rica. It ended before she even realized she was pregnant. Now she was back in the US, unsure of what to do, and feeling completely alone. "Sarah, I don't know how to be a mom," she said, her voice breaking. "I'm not you. I don't have it all together. I'm not even sure I want to keep the baby." Hearing those words broke my heart. Lily, the brave, independent spirit, was terrified, and for the first time in our lives, she was coming to me for help. My instinct was to jump into action, to fix things, to tell her everything would be okay. But I knew this wasn't something I could solve for her. She needed space to process, to feel, to decide. "I'm here," I said. "Whatever you need, whenever you need it, I'm here." Over the next few weeks, Lily and I talked almost every day. She opened up about her fears, the fear of losing her freedom, of not being a good mother, of making the wrong choice. I listened, offering support, but never pushing her in one direction. It was her decision, and she needed to make it for herself. Slowly, as we talked, I saw a change in her. The fear was still there, but so was something else. A spark of determination. Lily began to consider what life might look like if she chose to keep the baby. She talked about how she could still be adventurous, how she could raise a child to see the world through her curious, fearless eyes. One night she called me, her voice steadier than it had been in weeks. "I've made my decision," she said. "I'm keeping the baby." After Lily told me her decision to keep the baby, there was a shift in her tone, a mix of determination and vulnerability that I hadn't heard before. She was scared, yes, but there was a sense of purpose in her voice that made me believe she could handle this. "Are you sure?" I asked gently, not out of doubt, but because I wanted her to feel confident in her choice. "I'm sure," she said. "I don't have it all figured out, but I know this is the right path for me. I've spent my whole life running, chasing freedom, but maybe this is the adventure I'm meant to have now." From that moment on, Lily threw herself into preparing for motherhood in her own way. True to her adventurous spirit, she wasn't interested in following every conventional rule or reading 1,000 parenting books. Instead, she leaned into her instincts and reached out to people who inspired her, single moms, globe-trotting parents, and even a couple she'd met during her travels who were raising their child in a van while exploring the world. She moved back to our hometown, renting a small but cozy apartment just a few blocks from me. Watching her step into this new chapter of her life was incredible. Gone was the carefree, wild-at-heart Lily I had always known. And in her place was someone softer, more grounded, but still unmistakably her. We spent evenings together in her apartment, painting the nursery walls a soft seafoam green. She wanted the space to reflect her love for the world, so we decorated with maps, postcards from her travels, and photographs she had taken over the years. It wasn't just a nursery, it was a reflection of Lily's heart, a beautiful mix of chaos, love, and curiosity. But as much as she was growing into her new role, there were moments when the weight of it all felt too heavy for her. One night, I found her sitting on the nursery floor, holding a tiny pair of baby socks and crying quietly. "I don't know if I can do this," she admitted when I sat beside her. "What if I mess it all up? What if I'm not enough?" I placed a hand on her shoulder, looking her straight in the eye. "You will mess up, Lily. We all do. But being a good mom isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, loving your child, and doing your best. And if there's one thing I know about you, it's that you never back down from a challenge. You've got this." Those words seemed to settle something in her, and from then on she embraced the messy, unpredictable journey ahead. The day her daughter Mia was born was nothing short of magical. Lily, who had always been calm under pressure, was a bundle of nerves as we drove to the hospital. But when I held her hand in the delivery room, I saw something extraordinary. The moment she looked at Mia for the first time, her fear melted away, replaced by a fierce, overwhelming love. "She's beautiful," Lily whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I can't believe she's mine." Mia was a tiny bundle of joy, with big brown eyes and a curiosity that mirrored her mother's. From the moment she came into the world, it was clear she was going to be just as bold and adventurous as Lily. The months that followed were a whirlwind. Lily adjusted to motherhood with the same tenacity she had brought to her travels. She figured out how to navigate sleepless nights, endless diaper changes, and the delicate balance of holding on to her dreams while being present for her daughter. Her life changed in ways neither of us could have imagined. She traded spontaneous trips to far-off countries for afternoon hikes with Mia strapped to her back. Instead of late-night bonfires on the beach, she found joy in quiet moments at home, watching Mia's tiny fingers grasp her own. But Lily didn't lose herself in motherhood. She grew. She started a blog, sharing her experiences as a single mom who still believed in living boldly. Her stories resonated with women around the world, and before long, her platform became a space for mothers to connect, share, and support one another. One day, as we sat in my living room watching Mia take her first wobbly steps, Lily turned to me with a smile. "Do you remember that phone call?" she asked. "How could I forget?" I replied. "I thought it was the end of my world," she said, her voice soft. "But now I see it was the beginning of something so much better. I didn't just find a new adventure. I found my purpose." Her words stayed with me, a reminder of how life's most unexpected twists can lead us to places we never dreamed we'd go. Lily's journey wasn't easy, but it was beautiful. She showed me, and so many others, that strength isn't about having all the answers. It's about embracing uncertainty, facing your fears, and choosing love, even when it feels like the hardest thing to do. Her story is a testament to the power of resilience, the beauty of imperfection, and the extraordinary strength that lies within us all. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Share your thoughts below. Have you ever faced a moment that changed your life completely? Let's talk about how we find strength in the unexpected. See you in the next story.